News Channel 6, celebrating 70 wonderful years. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Janie Casino Injury Attorneys.
We will have a warm Friday and a warm weekend, but if you are wanting the cooler fall-like temperatures, good news for you is that the temperatures are falling big time next week. I'll have all the details coming up.
Right now on Good Morning Augusta, an urgent manhunt is still underway in Maine for the suspect accused in a deadly mass shooting. We'll have those details coming up. Plus, a major ruling in the Peach State will change the way people vote. Who's likely to be impacted? Straight ahead.
And from Fort Gordon to Fort Eisenhower, it's an historic day for the Post. We'll have a look at what to expect ahead of today's big ceremony as your Good Morning Augusta continues.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Good morning to you. I'm Barclay Bishop. It's Friday, October 26th. Thanks a lot for joining us. Mary Morrison is on assignment. Coverage you can count on begins this morning at Fort Gordon, where there will be a ceremony officially changing its name to Fort Eisenhower in just a few hours. News Channel 6's Kim Vickers is live outside of Gate 1 at Fort Gordon this morning. Kim, a lot of pomp and circumstance at Fort Gordon today.
Yeah, Barclay, there's going to be a lot of leaders at the local, state, and even national level here for today's big ceremony. Mayors Garnett Johnson and Britton Williams will attend, as well as several Augusta commissioners. A representative from Governor Brian Kemp's office will be here, and so will State Representatives Gloria Fraser and Lynn Gladney. Secretary of the Army Christine Wormuth will also attend the ceremony. There will be music, speakers, and a ceremonial unveilings of the new signs, as well as a bust of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. And there will be a lot of symbolism during today's ceremony.
We'll take the current garrison flag and we'll case it, so we'll cover it up, and then we'll unveil the new, uncase the new garrison flag, and that's a symbol to everybody that Gordon is, so to speak, being retired, and now the new installation is recognized through that garrison flag.
Now, fun fact, October was President Eisenhower's birth month. He was born more than 130 years ago. The ceremony will take place at Barton Field this morning at 10 a.m. and only DoD ID holders and invited guests of the command will be allowed on post, but you can still watch the ceremony on the installation's Facebook page live stream. Live at Fort Gordon, Kim Vickers, WJBF News Channel 6.
Kim, thanks. We'll also be reporting there live today at noon as well. Jennifer Tracci with our morning forecast. Good morning.
Good morning, Barclay. A pretty warm start to the day, you could say. Typically for a late October morning, we're waking up to the upper 40s. That is not the case today. You do not need a heavy jacket when headed out the door, and that's all thanks to the clouds that we're seeing. Notice these cloudy icons along with our temperatures. Where it's cloudier, we're seeing the warmer conditions. So 60 in Augusta now, warmed up from 55, which is what we had a little bit ago. Still 53 in Thompson, though, under mostly clear skies. 54 in McCormick, 59 in Louisville, right at 60 degrees in Millen. Gibson at 55, and those upper 50s in Edgefield and Waynesboro. Our winds are coming in from the northeast, very light, seeing under 3 miles per hour for the most part, but 6 in Edgefield, 6 as well in Washington, and that northeasterly wind is helping to bring in those clouds from the Atlantic. Right now, though, on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, a pleasant start to our Friday morning. And notice the clouds on satellite and radar, but definitely no rain. So we will have another dry day, and the weekend will be completely dry as well. There's that high pressure I was talking about bringing in the clouds, and we also have a big batch of cloud cover and some light showers up into parts of the Midwest. That will not be impacting us. Just a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. Temperatures will warm up, seeing those upper 50s through low 60s to start the day, and then another round of low 80s by this afternoon. Warm temperatures will stick around through the weekend, but it won't last for long. We'll see some big changes next week. All those details coming up, but back to you, Barclay.
All right, Jenna, thanks. This morning, President Biden has ordered all U.S. flags to be flown at half-staff after the murders of 18 people in Maine. Meanwhile, the manhunt continues for the U.S. Army reservist that police say is responsible. Wednesday night, they say 40-year-old Robert Card walked into a bar and bowling alley and opened fire. Outside of the 18 he killed, 13 people were injured. A home belonging to one of the suspects' relatives was searched and a suicide note found. The Associated Press reports that in mid-July, Card was evaluated by police after military officials became concerned that he was acting different. We'll have much more on the victims and the investigation coming up in about 10 minutes. Right here in Georgia, state lawmakers are looking at extra measures to keep children safe in schools. They hope to bolster an existing law that would allow teachers to carry guns in classrooms. If a local school board opts in and a teacher passes a screening and training, they can legally carry a firearm inside the school. Educators would also be offered a $10,000 stipend every year. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones plans to introduce that proposal during the next legislative session. A federal ruling says Georgia's current voting map the proposal request should be available in December. Still ahead, an urgent manhunt still underway for the suspect accused in a deadly mass shooting. The latest out of Maine and what authorities are now saying when we return.
And we have some clouds this morning with temperatures already around 60 degrees. We'll be warming into those low 80s later on. A nice warm weekend ahead and a huge cool down starting on Halloween and continuing into the first few days of November. Details coming up.
At any point,
Under the sports tab.
We continue in Maine, where police are revealing new details about the man allegedly responsible for the latest mass shooting in America. Communities remain on high alert as an all-out manhunt for him continues. ABC's Ike Jachi has the latest.
Overnight, investigators appearing no closer to catching Robert Card, the Army reservist wanted for the deadly mass shootings in Maine. Heavily armed police surrounding a home associated with Card Thursday night. Loud bangs ringing out through the neighborhood as police shouted for Card to surrender. ABC's Aaron Katursky was there.
And a number of tactical vehicles and troops come in, drones, helicopters, and our reporters there heard calling out commands to say, come out, calling the suspect by his name. And the suspicion was that they may have had him surrounded.
But nearly 2 hours later, most of the SWAT teams leaving the property. Police say Card opened fire at a bowling alley and nearby restaurant in the small city of Lewiston Wednesday night, killing 18 people and injuring 13. ABC News learning Card's sister told investigators she thought her brother may have been going after an ex-girlfriend at the bowling alley. 2 counties still under shelter-in-place advisories this morning. Schools and businesses are closed as far as 50 miles from the shooting scenes.
everybody's scared. I mean, nobody is used to having a shooter in Maine.
According to sources, investigators finding a suicide note at Card's home addressed to his son. It did not provide a motive for the rampage, but contained bank information and what are described as rantings. Card this past summer was treated at a mental health facility after reportedly hearing voices and allegedly threatening to attack a National Guard facility. It appears Card was thoughtful about eluding police. He left behind a cell phone, which authorities have recovered, but apparently Card suspected the phone would be tracked. Ike Jachi, ABC News, Lewiston.
Happening overnight, the U.S. strikes back in Syria. Your school day forecast, Jenna Petracci has it for you. Good morning.
Good morning. We have some clouds around this morning. It's a pretty warm start to the day. No need for any heavy jackets. Temperatures are actually already around the 60-degree mark. We'll climb to around 82 by the 4 o'clock hour. Partly cloudy with no rain in the forecast. I'll have a look at what you can expect this weekend and next week coming up.
The live only on News Channel 6. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Now, you may not have heard of this storm because it is out in the Pacific and not an Atlantic storm, but this is Hurricane Otis, and it made landfall as a powerful Category 5 storm, unleashing massive flooding and violent winds on the region. Otis is the strongest storm in history to make landfall along the eastern Pacific coast. The storm left at least 27 people dead and much of the region without power. And good morning. We are at 6:18 now on this Friday. It is a warm start to the day. Temperatures are actually warming up rather than cooling down, and that's due to more clouds moving in. Starting out this morning with a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over in Swainsboro, looking pretty as always with those lights 60 degrees as our current temperature, overcast skies, dew point of 59. Visibility is okay at 10 miles, but we do have some patchy fog in some of our southern line counties and along the river. But right now we're seeing some cooler temperatures towards the north, 56 in Crawfordville, 54 in Saluda and McCormick. Aiken, you're at 55, 61 in Bamberg, and 63 down in Allendale. So there's a look at the cloud cover on satellite and radar. These clouds will start to break apart as we go into later on this morning, but overall a partly cloudy day for us. This high pressure is still along the east coast. That's bringing us a northeast wind, and in return driving those clouds in from the Atlantic. Also more clouds and some showers up in the Midwest, but no rain for us today. We're keeping it dry. Partly cloudy once again for the most part today. 65 by 10 a.m., warming up to 81 by the 3 o'clock hour. Now, if you do not want the warm temperatures, I know a lot of us are craving more like fall conditions, and that'll be the case for next week. So we are ending the month of October pretty warm, but starting November on a cooler note, and that is due to the strong cold front coming in, bringing in the Arctic air, and this will start to drop temperatures on Halloween. So our high temperature will be much cooler. Speaking of Halloween, only 4 days away, giving it a high of 75 degrees. Also a 30% chance of rain when headed out trick-or-treating. So I want to show you this. We don't need to talk about the futurecast over the next few days because there's really not much happening. So let's jump ahead to Halloween night, 6 o'clock. That's when we're starting to see some green pop up across our region. Now, I do think there will be a lot of dry air in place, so these showers do have the chance of falling apart before reaching us. But just in case, I do want to let you know there is the possibility of some rain when headed out trick-or-treating with the kiddos on Tuesday night. Now, on Wednesday morning, still some leftover showers possible, and then we'll see the skies clear and the temperatures will begin to fall very drastically into the first few days in November. Below average temperatures across much of the country for that first week in November. And look at this big drop off. 34 is our low next Thursday morning, and our high temperatures will also be taking the same dip down into the upper 50s. So huge change of pace from what we're seeing today, and that's the low 80s across our entire area. Lows tonight will be in the mid 50s. Some fog possible as we go into our Saturday morning. Overall, a beautiful sunny weekend in store, staying warm, actually going up all the way to 85 degrees on your Monday. Once again, 75 on Tuesday, and then it's next Wednesday where we'll really start to see those cooler temperatures come in. Back to you, Barkley.
All right, Jenna, thanks. Coming up, we'll check in with some local softball teams in the Georgia State Tournament, and South Aiken High School is on the hunt for a volleyball state title. All that and more next in your morning sports.
The Farmer's Forecast on WJBF News Channel 6 is sponsored by Mecco. Service makes the difference.
It's Ram Power Days in Waynesboro.
15% off MSRP on new Ram 1500 Classics. Discounted $7,500.
Take a short drive on Highway 25 to save time and money.
Shop good to go Waynesboro.com.
Popeye's new sweet and...
For tickets, visit EtheridgeCenter.universitytickets.com or call 803-641-3305. The CSRA. It's full of interesting people and plenty of stunning sights to see. Join Brendan Dawson as he hits the road. Your hometown road trip. Wednesdays at 12:30 on WJBF News Channel 6.
It's Jeep Adventure Days in Waynesboro.
New Jeep Compass, just $530 a month with 0 down.
Choose the exact vehicle you want, and we'll deliver it within 500 miles.
Good to go, Waynesboro.com. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
South Aiken girls volleyball is looking to make a run at a state title as they battled Pickens for a chance to head to Upper State. In the first set, South Aiken jumped out to a quick 5-0 lead, but Pickens fought back to even the score. Later, leading 9-6, a slam from Anna Carius got the momentum rolling as the T-Birds took game 1 25-20. South Aiken was lights out in the second set, getting the win 25-17, but it was in the third set when Pickens made adjustments against the T-Birds and kept the score close. Late in the set, Pickens leading 28-27, Anna Carius makes her move again and the score is tied. Finally, T-Birds leading 30-29, Anna Dizakowski finishes it off as South Aiken wins in 3 sets. Head coach Cassie McKee talked post-game about the fight she saw from her girls and why this team is so hungry.
I am just so proud of them. and the battle that they just, or the amount of heart that they have, that these girls have, is just, it shows each and every day. We practice just as hard as we play. We really strive on being disciplined. And this group of girls is really passionate. And today I actually sent them a motivational speech, and they all listened to it, and they all wanted to come out and cheer with that. And so we were saying hungry, because we're hungry to get to the next step.
And that next step is Upper State, which will be at South Aiken as they take on Catawba Ridge on Tuesday. Well, Thursday night football in the CSRA, a really good one between Burke County and New Hampstead. Tied at 7 with 3 minutes left in the first half, Rashawn Truel finds Malachi Lunnan for the score, 14-7 New Hampstead. But Burke County, man, they had a response on third down. A huge play to Omri Williams down to the 1, and they punch it in 3 plays later. It wouldn't be enough, though, as the Bears fall to the Phoenix 34-28. Over in college football, Georgia Southern with a shot to become bowl eligible with a win over Georgia State. The Eagles draw first blood. Davis Brin going upstairs to Caleb Hood. At the end of the first, the Eagles led 10-7, and they took time to honor the Hall of Fame inductee, former Georgia Southern head coach Paul Johnson. In the second, the Eagles began to pull away on 4th and goal. Georgia Southern goes for it on a toss to Jalen White, and he is true. Later, with about 1 minute left in the half, Brin will hit Marcus Sanders Jr. for a touchdown. Eagles led 27-7 at halftime and went on to win 44-27. Over in softball, 4 of our 5 area high school teams played must-win games on Thursday night at the Georgia State Tournament in Columbus. The Lady Tigers from Washington Wilkes, the lone team to advance to the winners bracket after openers. And they are staying in the winners bracket. The Lady Tigers beating Georgia Military 4-2 in extra innings. It's the first time the program has made it to the state tournament in almost 30 years. And head coach Yolanda Hurd making more program history. They will take on Lanier County at 3 p.m. on Friday, and a win puts them into the state championship. Another team with a big matchup was Glasscock County taking on Bowden. We can see the head coaches there meeting at home plate. And then Glasscock County gets to work. J.C. Usry smashes a homer to left field in the first inning. That puts GC on the board 1-0. And then a little later on in the second inning, Glasscock County's Lexi Mitchell flies one to right center gap. That'll land. 2 will score. GC leads 3-0, and they would go on to win 7-4. With so many teams going the distance, we have some more Thursday scores for you. Harlem shut out Pike County. We saw how Glasscock County beat down Bowden. ECI beat Telfair 15-2, and Pope beat Grovetown 10-1. The tournament continues through Saturday, and that does it for sports.
Here's something that's going on this Friday morning, a very important conversation you have to have. A dad posted this dilemma online. He has an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. They don't want to dress up for Halloween this year, but they still plan on trick-or-treating with friends. Dad does not like the idea. He told him you can't just walk around asking for candy without a costume. Now his kids are mad at him. It does beg the question, is that appropriate?
I totally agree with the dad. You have to at least put on cat ears.
Right.
A witch hat. I mean, it's not hard.
But would you deny somebody candy if they came to your door without a costume? No, you can't be that person.
I guess I wouldn't, but I would definitely give them a look.
Yeah, you can shame them.
Yeah.
But you expect that if you're going to walk around without a costume.
Especially if they're the older kids, like around the 13 range, you know, you kind of
give them a little effort.
Yeah, exactly. Well, time now to announce the coffee club winner. That is Mary Kathleen Scott from Augusta. Congratulations. Welcome to the coffee club. You won a Good Morning Augusta mug.
You can be a winner too. Go to WJBF.com/coffee club or put your name and address on the postcard. Mail it to the address on your screen. We'll be right back.
They said live from Television Park. This is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Good morning to you. Happy Friday, TGIF. Just a few days away from Halloween. We've been talking about all the parties people are going to and the costumes. Yeah. Getting to be an exciting time. The holiday season here for sure. It's also football season, right?
Yep, my favorite time of the year. We got football, Halloween, Thanksgiving, my birthday, which comes right in between Halloween and Thanksgiving.
And then Christmas.
Yes, I love it. Well, for tonight, Friday Night Lights at Midland Valley.
More now than ever before. News Nation is very, very lucky to have you.
I'm attorney Jamie Casingo. If you're injured in a wreck, our team has scored record results in the courtroom, and our Google rating is excellent. Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Good morning to you. Happy Friday, TGIF. Just a few days away from Halloween. We've been talking about all the parties people are going to and the costumes.
Yeah.
Getting to be an exciting time. The holiday season here for sure. It's also football season, right?
Yep, my favorite time of the year. We got football, Halloween, Thanksgiving, my birthday, which
Yes.
comes right in between Halloween and Thanksgiving.
And then Christmas.
Yes, I love it. Well, for tonight, Friday Night Lights at Midland Valley High School, they'll be looking to snap North Augusta's 23-game winning streak over them. Weather for the game will be in the mid-60s to mid-70s, so very comfortable, kind of like room-like temperature weather. So for Game Night Live, it's starting at 7:30 on MeTV. That means no 10 p.m. newscast, but we'll be back on the air at 11 with Football Friday night about 30 minutes later. And for our commute forecast today, we are starting out the day dry, no rain, and temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s. Later on today, climbing into the upper 70s and some low 80s with partly cloudy skies. Back to you, Barkley.
All right, Jenna, thanks so much. A big morning at Fort Gordon as we continue our coverage. A ceremony later this morning will officially change the installation's name to Fort Eisenhower. It's after the late President General Dwight D. Eisenhower. News Channel 6's Kim Vickers joins us live outside of Gate 1 at Fort Gordon this morning. Kim, there will be a lot of people there today.
Yeah, Barkley, so there will be tons of people here at Barton Field ready to celebrate the renaming of Fort Gordon. The Secretary of the Army, Christine Wormuth, will be here, as well as several state and local leaders. Two of President Eisenhower's granddaughters will be here as well. There will be music, speakers, and ceremonial unveilings of the installation's new signs, and it will be a morning full of celebration and homage to President Eisenhower.
And after the ceremony, we'll have a little reception and some artifacts from the general's history background over in the conferencing center, things that are associated with them. And then on the field, we'll have static displays, some World War II Jeeps, things from that period when General Eisenhower was the Supreme Allied Commander.
Now, the ceremony will begin at 10 o'clock this morning at Barton Field, and again, only DoD ID holders and the command's invited guests will be allowed on post for the ceremony, but you can watch it at home. The installation will be live streaming it on their Facebook page. For the very last time, live at Fort Gordon, Kim Vickers, WJBF News Channel 6.
All right, Kim, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Turning now to the president, where he has ordered all U.S. flags to help a family in need this Thanksgiving. The Richmond County Marshal's Office is holding a turkey drive. They're asking for donations of frozen turkeys or canned goods to give to families in our area. You can drop them off in the lobby of the municipal building on Telfair Street. The drive is now underway, and it runs through Friday, November 17th. And tonight, you can get an early start on trick-or-treating. If you want a safe way to celebrate, just head out to Liberty Park in Grovetown. There will be food and craft vendors as well as prizes for the trunk-or-treat displays. It's from 6 to 9. Admission to the park and participation in trunk-or-treat activities will be free. You can also celebrate Halloween tonight in Augusta. The Sand Hills community is hosting trick-or-treat in the park. That free event is from 6 to 8 at their community center on Wheeler Road. Nice to get a head start on your trick-or-treating. Wonder if Freddie's going to be doing the same thing. What's he up to today?
Well, he's forecasting those clouds we're seeing for now, but some good news coming later on today. That's right, we'll see some sunshine later on today with another round of warm temperatures. And congratulations to today's winner. That's Guwan Creedon from North Augusta. Congratulations, you have won a Freddie bobblehead that you can pick up here at the station. And if you're watching us from home and you haven't won one yet, go ahead on WJBF.com to sign up to win.
6:37. Let's take a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, should teenagers let their parents track them?
It's great to see where all of my kids are all of the time.
The weight of the world is heavy for today's kids, and some in Gen Z are turning to an unexpected tool to relieve some of that stress: location trackers. Some using features like Apple's Find My and Snapchat's
On Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, should teenagers let their parents track them?
It's great to see where all of my kids are all of the time.
The weight of the world is heavy for today's kids, and some in Gen Z are turning to an unexpected tool to relieve some of that stress: location trackers. some using features like Apple's Find My and Snapchat's Snap Map. See where your friends are.
Children wanting to share their location with their parents is also another means of connection and them feeling protected.
Teens like Iowa 16-year-old Emery Liddick say it's given them more peace of mind that their parents know where they are.
When you're seeing constant news coverage of all these things happening, it's kind of hard not to be anxious constantly. It just makes me feel safer overall, knowing where my family is at all times and for them to know where I am.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the parenting advice you'll want to know. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
Google has announced its new fact-checking tool for images. The tech giant announced their new About This Image tool at its developer conference in May. The feature provides users with information about the origins of an image, as well as its metadata if it's available. It'll also provide context about how a particular image has been described by news and fact-checking organizations over time. The Barbie film is boosting sales for toy company Mattel. The movie has made over $1 billion in sales. The film's success is creating a craze for Barbie dolls, dream houses, and other accessories. Mattel had a 9% increase in its third quarter sales compared to previous quarters. I don't know if anybody knew it would be as popular as this.
It's huge. And think about all the Halloween costumes this year.
Yes.
That's got to be the most popular one.
It is.
Barbie
It is.
Ken.
I saw it. Yep.
Yep. And then Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, another huge one this year.
Well, you were on it, girl.
Oh, yeah. I'm not doing either of those, but I know which ones we're most likely to see. Well, yesterday we had temperatures in the low 80s. That'll be the case today as well. So for today's weather question, it's on average, when is Augusta's last 80-degree day of the year? Is it A, September 28th, B, October 30th, C, November 11th, or D, all the way in December the 15th? Comment what you think the correct answer is on our Facebook page, and I'll have that along with the full forecast when we return.
The Columbia County Chamber. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Happy Friday. Time now is 6:46. It's a nice start to the day. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station showing a dry morning. We have no rain in the forecast today once again. Instead, we are forecasting for some warm temperatures. Almost a summer-like morning with a temperature of 60 degrees right now. That is well above average. Typically, we're in the upper 40s around this time of the year. Dew point of 59. Visibility is looking just fine, and our sunrise will be at 7:42. Temperatures are in the upper 50s in our northwestern counties, 58 in Sparta and Sandersville, 57 in Washington, only 53 in McCormick, a little bit cooler, 54 in Saluda, but 64, 10 degrees warmer down south in Allendale County. Now notice on satellite and radar, we are seeing a good amount of cloud cover across the area. Overall today, though, we'll also see some sunshine, so overall a mix of sun and clouds. High pressure is in control. This is bringing us a northeasterly wind, driving in these clouds from the Atlantic, but it'll just be the clouds today. Once again, no rain in the forecast. Mostly sunny by 10, 65 degrees, partly cloudy again by the afternoon, making it into the low 80s. Now, if you are tired of the warm weather, though, I know a lot of you are. I've seen the comments on my Facebook page. Well, we are going to get a taste of fall as we go into next week, just in time for the new month. We have a November cool down, and it actually begins the night before Halloween. Notice the front center of Barnwell.
The Farmer's Forecast on WJBF News Channel 6 is sponsored by Mecco. Service makes the difference. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Happy Friday. Time now is 6:46. It's a nice start to the day. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station showing a dry morning. We have no rain in the forecast today once again. Instead, we are forecasting for some warm temperatures. Almost a summer-like morning with a temperature of 60 degrees right now. That is well above average. Typically, we're in the upper 40s around this time of the year. Dew point of 59. afternoon, visibility is looking just fine, and our sunrise will be at 7:42. Temperatures are in the upper 50s in our northwestern counties, 58 in Sparta and Sandersville, 57 in Washington, only 53 in McCormick, a little bit cooler, 54 in Saluda, but 64, 10 degrees warmer down south in Allendale County. Now, notice on satellite and radar, we are seeing a good amount of cloud cover across the area. Overall today, though, we'll also see some sunshine, so overall a mix of sun and clouds. High pressure is in control. This is bringing us a northeasterly wind driving in these clouds from the Atlantic, but it'll just be the clouds today. Once again, no rain in the forecast. Mostly sunny by 10, 65 degrees, partly cloudy again by the afternoon, making it into the low 80s. Now, if you are tired of the warm weather, though, I know a lot of you are. I've seen the comments on my Facebook page. Well, we are going to get a taste of fall as we go into next week, just in time for the new month. We have a November cool down, and it actually begins the night before Halloween. Notice the front approaching us, and the timing is still kind of up in the air here. So as of now, it looks like Halloween itself will be a little bit cooler. And speaking of, we are getting pretty close to the big holiday, only 4 days away now. I'm giving it a high of 75. Know that this could definitely change based off the timing of that front. And I've also introduced a 30% chance of rain. Originally, this looked to be a dry cold front, but now we're seeing a lot of showers potentially coming through just in time, unfortunately, for some trick-or-treat plans on Tuesday night. So here's 6 o'clock. Notice we'll start to see that green popping up across the CSRA. This is some light rain coming through. Not expecting any thunderstorms here, and I'm hoping it'll end up being more scattered. We do have a lot of dry air in place, so there's the potential that a lot of these showers will break up by the time they move through. Still keeping that rain chance, though, into our Wednesday morning, and then that's when we'll see the big cool down, below average temperatures across much of the country, and you can definitely see it here with our temperatures over the next 7 days. Huge drop off to 34 to around 36 degrees, definitely frost territory there, and our highs will be going from the mid 80s into the upper 50s, so you'll need to change your wardrobe completely for next week. Highs today will be in the low 80s, lows tonight in the mid 50s. Possible fog forming, but overall a beautiful sunny weekend for us. Staying warm for now, enjoy that while it lasts. 85 on Monday, then down to 75 on Halloween. 30% chance of rain. Mostly sunny as we finish out next week, but the big story, of course, will be the cold. Highs once again dropping into the upper 50s, and our lows will be in the mid 30s. So could have our first frost of the year. Now back to our weather question of the day. For now, we are focused on the warmer temperatures, of course. So on average, when is Augusta's last 80-degree day of the year?
I'm going B, October 30th.
Oh, you almost had it when you said November.
It's
November 11th. Yeah, so it is normal for us to still have some 80-degree days every now and then.
My goodness. That does it for us right now. We're back with the 6 things you need to know before you go.
Miracle Infinity. The News Channel 6 mobile app is now even better. Download it today.
Coming up on 6:53, let's take a look at the 6 things you need to know before you go. We begin at Fort Gordon, where this morning it will officially change its name to Fort Eisenhower. A ceremony will be held on Barton Field. There will be lots of leaders at the state, local, and federal level. Family members of President Dwight D. Eisenhower will also be in attendance. That ceremony starts at 10 on Barton Field. Only DoD ID holders and command invited guests will be able to get on post this morning for that ceremony. All U.S. flags are flying at half-staff after the murders of 18 people in Maine. Police are still searching for 40-year-old Robert Card. Wednesday night, police say the U.S. Army reservist killed those 18 and then injured 13 others when he opened fire at a bowling alley and bar. A federal ruling says Georgia's current voting map must be redrawn before the 2024 election. That decision came down from Judge Steve Jones yesterday. He says the map violates the Federal Voting Rights Act, and now Georgia is ordered to draw an additional black majority congressional district. The redistricting would not affect voters here in the CSRA. The future of the old Hotel Aiken is starting to take shape. City leaders are getting ready to release a proposal request in hopes of finding a company to refurbish the hotel. This decision follows the cancellation of Project Pascalis. The plan there was to demolish the hotel and leave the property under the city's ownership. The proposal request should be available in December. Time to break out those costumes for your kids. Tonight, Grovetown is putting on a trunk or treat at Liberty Park, and then Sand Hills Community Center in Augusta is also offering trick or treating for kids 12 and under. Both events start at 6 and both are free.
And for our forecast today, starting out in the low 60s, climbing into the upper 70s, and even some low 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. We'll be right back.
The WJBF Live Viper 6.
Call 222-HURT right now.
Here's a final look at our 10-day forecast. Partly cloudy and warm today, 82 degrees, low to mid-80s over the weekend as well. Our low temperature is staying in the mid-50s. Then on Halloween, we'll start to see some changes. A 30% chance of rain in the evening, 75 is our high. Then cooling down big time starting on Wednesday, the first day of November. Highs in the upper 50s, and our lows will be in the mid-30s.
Great looking weather past the next few days.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining. We're back in about 25 minutes with more of your top local headlines.